right, so in the closed guard position, we're going to be looking at our first technique, which is the cross collar choke. All right, so choking from the guard, I'm going to open up his jacket, and I'm going to insert my hand inside that collar. So I'm going to insert the 4 fingers inside, and I'm going to ensure to bring my hand past the line of his ear. So basically, bring your thumb behind his neck as such. All right, now you have a nice control here, but when you do for your chokes, you always want to have everything, not only with your grips, but also using your legs. All right, so I'm going to pull my knees towards me. So I'm going to open up here, bring everything nice and tight as such. Now I'm going to insert the second hand in the same way with the palm up, 4 fingers inside his jacket as well. So now when it goes across, my hands are going to be touching behind his collar like this, right behind his neck. And now I have my palms like this, but I need to squeeze everything tight. Now just from here, there's going to be a lot of pressure. All right, some people might even tap when they're not used to it. So look, when you have your hands here, the important detail is, look, the neck is in the center. You don't want to squeeze this way. You don't want to push this way and pull down. What you want to do is turn your hands, see? Turn your palms more so. Now, the wrist bone goes tight against the neck, and that's the collar choke. So we're going to go open up the grip here. Bring the other hand on the opposite side and watch. Now my palms are going to go inverting themselves into the neck. So it makes it super tight. So now I go here and I bring my elbows into his chest. Okay? Now sometimes you're going to have someone who's very resilient, who's going to be resisting, or might even put his hands either on the mat or on your body to try to like prevent you from pulling them into the choke. So an added bonus now, what you can do is once you have your grips, is to bring your head to his shoulder. All right, so once you insert your hands, you're going to turn and look. You're going to bring yourself like a crunch into the collar choke. All right, next up, we're going to look at the Kimura. Okay, so a lot of times when you're in a closed guard position, okay, the opponent might have his hand on your pants trying to open up the guard, all right? Not the best way to open up the guard, but you'll see this a lot. In a lot of the videos I do for beginners, sometimes I want to teach you guys not just the stuff that everyone should be doing, but also the stuff that when people don't know how to do certain things, you can anticipate or even prevent or sometimes even capitalize on their own mistakes, right? So if they're doing this and they're grabbing your pants, of course, if you have control of the grips, you would just prevent that altogether. But sometimes when he's grabbing first, you don't have that reach. All right, sometimes you can bring the grip, but other times you might not be able to because maybe he's posturing up here and now you're having a hard time getting rid of this. And although that's not the best way to open the guard, this is bugging you, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to choose a side. So of course, now I'm going to swing my body towards that side. So I want to swing my body up. As I do so, I'm going to post my feet on the mat and I'm going to post all the way up to my elbow, right to here. Now, my arm is going to go over that elbow. See? Going to go over the elbow. And now look, I'm going to overhook his arm and grab my own jacket right here. So as you hook this, make a nice grip onto your own lapel. Now it's hard for him to remove his arm. He might decide to let go of the grip. He might decide to keep the grip. It doesn't matter. Once you've hooked his elbow, now you're going to lie down once again, but you're going to go and trap his wrist. So look. I'm going to remove the post, grab his wrist, and now let go of my lapel so I can grab my own wrist right here. Now, if he has the grip, all you're going to do is pull, rip the grip, and look from here, move your hips, and finalize the Kimura. So sometimes their hands are going to be on the mat, and now you go straight for the Kimura. Other times their hand is not on the mat, and now it's hard. Maybe you love to do the Kimura from the closed guard. So a nice little trick here. Just swing your body on the same side. You're going to attack the arm. Post yourself up and hook that arm. Grab your own kimono right from here. So that way there, if he tries to remove his arm, you're stuck to him. He has to pull against your body weight. So this is a nice little variation of catching the Kimura. But it's important now, when you lie down, you trap his wrist first before you let go of this hand. So I'll let go only once I've trapped his arm. Now I can let go and trap my own. And now from here, look, if he still has the pant grip, a lot of times they will because they don't want you to bring the hand in this direction. Before you start turning, make sure you rip the grip off. So see, I'm gonna use my back foot, turn, rip this off, and turn in for the shoulder lock. Now, in the same token as our previous technique, we can also use a sit-up for a sweep. All right, so this time I'm gonna swing my body. Let's do it in this direction once again. But instead of going onto his arm, maybe he's hugging my waist here. So there's no space to hook here. So I'm already sitting up. What I'm going to do, use this arm and trap his belt. Now I use the most pressure using my elbow and my arm on top of his back to try to prevent him from leaning back into me and putting me back flat on the mat. So I'm gonna grab here, put a lot of pressure on the far side, my knee is posted up, and now from there, I'm gonna lift myself onto his lap and pull the belt so I can turn him, release the grip, and have the mount position. So once more, I'll sit up from here, grab the belt. Now it's important not to try to just pull the belt around because his weight is sitting on his heels and he's too strong for me. So the trick is to use that post behind you to raise your hips off the mat and pull at the extension. Now you can get your mount position and stabilize top control. Now, once again, combining the two previous techniques, okay? Once I start to sit up in this position here, maybe I missed the first technique here, overhooking his elbow. And now I ended up here where the belt grip, that previous hip bump sweep, using that belt. This time, he might even post his arm out. So as I pull here, boom, that arm is posted. So now we learned the Kimura. We can also go for another technique. Look, every time he posts here, that means his weight is leaning onto me. His neck is exposed. So you're gonna let go of this grip and look, use your elbow to wrap his head and trap right here. Notice how my fingers are going all around his neck. And now look, this hand will go on top of it. And as I lie down, I'm gonna lock my legs and gently turn to the side for what we call the guillotine. So once more from here, you sit up and you end up in this position. You try to sweep with that previous technique. I'll call this the hip bump sweep, but the belt pull variation. Because sometimes we'll use this by cupping the arm. Other times, you just grab the belt and go here, but now he posts. We're gonna wrap the elbow around, have a seat, trap our wrist underneath, just trap it here. Bring that right arm across the palm. So 1 and 2. Now have a seat, back into your closed guard position, lock your legs, and finalize from here. Sometimes from the closed guard position, the opponent's gonna decide to stand up. So maybe he makes a grip here, starts to posture, and now you end up with this position here. What I need to do is get rid of the grip, and now I'm gonna post my hands behind his heels, unlock my heels, and look, pull gently here with my arms, but also bump forward with my hips to make him lose that balance. Now look, I'll choose one side. The same position we did for a hip bump sweep and our Kimura. So I post on my arm, lift my hips off the ground so I can bring my hips over his lap. My free arm will now grab his collar right to here to help me get into the mount position. So once I remove this arm, now my weight's gonna transfer to this leg. So I go up and look, I'll slide my knee into the mount position, ready to start my submissions. Okay, so once more, my opponent stands up. First thing I must do is get rid of this grip. So look, just peel it off, go right to his legs, uncross my legs, use my shins and my arms to unbalance my opponent. And now from here, look, post right away on top of his lap. Let's turn this way, Alex. Once you're in this position here, you grab the opponent's gi, or if he starts to sit up, just hook onto his neck, right? Now you can remove the weight from your back arm and look, transfer everything to this leg, close the gap, and have your mount. Now, all of these basic techniques are useful for everyone starting out in Jiu-Jitsu as well as more advanced practitioners. And eventually, we're gonna be showing you guys how to open up your legs and transition into different types of open guards. So for example, maybe I have the grips here and my feet were on his hips like this. All right, so using these grips. So this is a good transition we'll show you from the close guard position. And this will transition well into some attacks. So for example, maybe his arm was inside, you turn your hips, you pummel one foot, and now from here, look, you shoot one in, and now you lock, right? You would switch your grip, and now look, hold on to your own leg. And now from here, you can easily finalize a triangle choke, for example. There's gonna be many variations we can do, but in future videos, we'll use that occasion to show you guys spider guard techniques, lassos and whatnot. So stay tuned, guys. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Leave us a like, subscribe if you are new, and we'll catch you
in the next video.
Take care.